This is Into Math for Second Grade, Module 18, Lesson 2. The I can statement is I can use 1-inch tiles to make a ruler to measure objects. We will be starting on page 434. Please gather your workbook and a pencil. We will start under Build Understanding. For this activity, you're going to need a blank piece of paper, some crayons or colored markers, and you're also going to need some scissors to complete this page. Trisha wants to use a ribbon that is 4 inches long. Can she use this ribbon? Make a paper ruler to find out. Okay, so we're going to take a look at part A. Part A says, how can you use tiles and grid paper to make a ruler? Well, the definition of the ruler is a tool used to measure lengths. So we have these tiles right here and some grid paper. So we are going to lay out the tiles like they have here, and we're going to take a piece of paper and copy, making this grid just like this. So you may need to pause and go ahead and do that. Get a piece of paper and make a grid that looks like this and the boxes, and you're just copying the tiles that are laid out on your page. And once you've done that, they'd like you to use different colors to shade the squares below the tiles. So you should have this section on a paper. And then if you look right here, here's an example of how you're going to color to shade the squares below the tiles. So you may need to pause to do that. And when you come back, we'll look at part C. How does it help to have different colors of squares next to each other? Well, I'm noticing that when there's different colors, that really makes it easier to count the squares. If they're all the same color, it's going to be hard for me to know where one ends and where one begins. So that's going to be an easier way for me to count the squares. So you can write in your own answer or write in what I've written as well, and you may need to pause to do that as well. Okay, when you're back from that, we're going to look at part D. Cut out your paper ruler. Measure the ribbon. So you're going to need scissors, and once you have those scissors, you're going to take that paper ruler that you made, and you're going to line it up with the ribbon that Trisha wants to use. So when you do that, what do you see? You see that there's 1, 2, 3 tiles that match the ribbon. So we can answer this part right here. The ribbon is how many inches long? Remember, one tile is 1 inch, and we see that the ribbon is 3 inches long. So remember what Trisha wanted. She wanted to use a ribbon that was 4 inches long. So can Trisha use the ribbon? Explain. You may want to pause and write in your answer now. And when you come back, your answer should probably look something like this that says no. The ribbon is only 3 inches long. And remember, she wanted 4 inches. Great job. Let's look at the next page. Okay, on page 435, Trisha wants to use a ribbon that is 4 inches long. So we still have the same thing that Trisha wants. And we're trying to find out, can she use this ribbon, which is the orange ribbon? Make a paper ruler with numbers to find out. Okay, so they're going to start with part A. Turn your paper ruler over. So the paper ruler that you made, you're going to flip it over. And then it's asking you to color the squares to match the colors on the front. So we flip it over and we color the squares to match the front. So if you want to pause and go ahead and do that, you may do so. And then when you come back, it asks you to use numbers to label your paper ruler. So here we have an example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're writing down the numbers of squares on the paper ruler. Now we're going to use the paper ruler with the numbers to measure the ribbon, this orange ribbon that's above. So you may want to try this on your own and come back, or you can follow along with me. I'm going to take this paper ruler, I'm going to line it up with the orange ribbon, and what do I find? That this orange ribbon is measuring to 4 inches or 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the ribbon stops, and when we put the ruler underneath the ribbon, we find that the ribbon is 4 inches long. So then we can answer part D. Can Trisha use this ribbon? Write yes or no. We can write yes because she wants a 4-inch long ribbon and we've measured this ribbon is 4 inches long. Nice work. Now let's take a look at the next page, page 436 under Step It Out. Number 1, measure a paper clip 2 different ways. First, part A asks us to measure the paper clip using the paper ruler without numbers. So we're going to bring our ruler without the numbers, that's on one side, and we're going to measure this paper clip. And when we do, we can see that there's 1 blue square and 1 yellow square, so it's about 2 of those squares or 2 inches. Part B asks us to measure the paper clip using your paper ruler with numbers. And when we bring our paper ruler that has numbers, we can easily see, oh, it's 2 inches or 2 squares because the numbers are already written for us, so we don't have to count. It just makes it so much easier for us. So now we can answer part C. The paper clip is about 2 inches long. Now let's look at part D. Why is the length the same using different paper rulers? You can pause and write in your own answer and come back and check your answer with mine. I wrote the length is the same because each ruler has the same size of squares. And I'm lining up the ruler without numbers and the ruler with numbers so that you can see that for yourself as well. Okay, we're ready for check understanding. Use one of the paper rulers you made to measure the length of the pen. So you get to decide if you want to use the ruler with numbers or the ruler without, and then find out about how many inches long this pen is. So go ahead and push pause, try this, and come back and check your answer. I'm going to use the ruler with the numbers, and when I put the ruler underneath the pen, I find that it is pretty close to 6 inches or 6 squares. So I can answer it's about 6 inches long. Great job. If you would like to go back and rewatch this video, you may do so, and you can pause anytime you need to along the way.